Without going into a long story, my ex has given over all of his communications and his co-parenting role to his new girlfriend. Everything has become difficult and every decision made feels vindictive, as if they are using the kids to hurt me. Every request has been denied, from minor things like taking the kids to a holiday event that I have always taken them to major ones like holiday time. In our divorce, my ex took Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and I took Solstice. And Solstice is not a nationally recognized holiday, so there's no time given off from work. We've always been able to work this out, but this year my oldest daughter cannot get off for that time, and the only time she was available to celebrate is my ex's time. I gave a 30-day request to celebrate the weekend before, where I could use vacation time and or give extra days at the end of the week closer to Christmas in order to make it happen. They denied this request. What are my options? Is there anything I can do before December 15th? Obviously, it looks like we need to go to court to figure out the current roadblocks and have our co-parenting worked out, but can something be done prior to making this holiday happen? Edited to add, I gladly took Solstice. It was our family tradition before the divorce, and I prefer that over Christmas anyway. That being said, Solstice is not nationally recognized, and I'm trying to work around my 23-year-old's work schedule, so we're trying to celebrate the weekend before Solstice, the 15th through the 18th. I'm totally flexible and can celebrate anytime. However, weekends are the only time available for our oldest. As far as communication, he gave over his role to her, and finally signed up for a parent communication app because I refused to communicate through her. I'm pretty sure she is the one communicating on the app, and they've just changed their profile to be both of their names instead of just his. There's a lot to talk about here. My name is Billy Tarasio, Arizona family law attorney, owner of Modern Law Win Without Law School, and the pattern that you're describing where dad gets a new girlfriend and the co-parenting dynamic changes, or mom gets a new boyfriend and the co-parenting dynamic changes, is one that I see over and over and over again as a family law attorney. If that's something you've experienced, down below, hit that video respond button and share your story. The other thing that you've got going on is you've got a holiday tradition that is outside the norm, and you wrote it into your divorce decree, and because it was your family norm, you all knew what that meant. You knew what it meant to have your family tradition be celebrating Solstice. And so that, I'm assuming from your comments, that meant you all getting together as a family and doing something. So you're trying to keep that tradition alive and involve your 23-year-old daughter. Makes perfect sense. But because the rest of us don't have that same tradition and don't know what tradition that is, and it's not written into your divorce decree, it's going to be very hard for you to enforce this. So this particular portion of your decree really needs some work, and I do think you need to go back to court. In terms of, are you allowed to use your decree, which gives you Solstice, to use different days, including dad's days? I don't know that you are. So I would try to find a weekend for you all to celebrate, because you said a weekend is when your daughter gets off, in order for you all to be able to celebrate Solstice. If you have no weekends, then again, I would think that your divorce decree really needs to be revisited. In terms of, can you make sure that the girlfriend isn't communicating instead of dad? No, you can't. This is one of those things that you have absolutely no control over. If they use the same login into the app, or if they communicate that way, you just have to go with it. All you can do is control yourself. So for those of you also, I would be interested to know who celebrates Solstice and how do you do it? What do those traditions look like?